solve quadratic equation step by step with the quadratic formula. Welcome to this video. In the previous video, I did similar question and I promised to come back, for this topic because it's very important to know how to use a quadratic formula. First of all, let's understand this. They say quadratic equation. So we're gonna solve a quadratic equation. What they mean by quadratic equation is this. This is an example of a quadratic equation. So you're gonna solve that quadratic equation with what? Quadratic formula. So quadratic formula is what we have here. You see what we have here. Okay, so let's understand quadratic formula. So in the formula, we have a negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so each variable here or each letter is very important. If you don't find the appropriate value for each variable, you're gonna probably get a wrong answer. So now let's understand the a, b, and c. When they give you the equation, you have to understand that we have two sides of that quadratic equation. This is one side, so we call it left hand side, and the other side, which is right hand side. Now, as a quadratic equation using this quadratic formula, we want to make sure we have the expression in one side and the zero the other side. So in case they give you the equation where the other side is not a zero, you have to, so that's very important, you must do, that means it's mandatory, make it to zero before you solve it. And we're gonna have another video on that, but let's just focus on this. Now, when you have the expression on the left side, the number in front of the x squared is a. That's why we have here a as 3. Let's highlight again. The a is 3. A is not 3x squared. A is 3 because the formula has to be ax squared. I need to write it down again because it's very important. They have to be ax squared plus bx plus c equal 0. So the a is 3, that number in front of the x squared. Okay, the b is what? Negative 1. How we know it's negative 1? Perfect. That's a good question. Yes. So when they say negative x means negative 1x. So therefore, b is negative 1. Understand that even here they say plus b is like we have plus negative 1. So the b is negative 1. B is a value, and that's a value. It can be positive or negative. Yeah. So the a here is positive 3. B is negative 1. Again, when they say negative x is negative 1x. But in a question, when they say plus x, which was the previous video, okay? So plus x means what? Plus 1x. Okay, here we have a minus x means minus 1x, and the b is negative 1. C is negative 2. C is that value without the variable, without the x. Is that constant alone. So C is negative 2. C is not a 2. C is negative 2. That means what? Every time you are taking a value, we take the value with its sign. So if there is no sign, that means what? It's positive. But if you see negative sign in front, you have to take it with the value. Very important. Otherwise, you get the wrong answer. Okay. Now we know A, B, and C. We're going to plug in the formula to solve for x. X will be the solution. But before we continue, understand that the reason they call this equation quadratic equation is what? Is because the highest power for the variable here is 2. The exponent, the power is 2. So this tells you that probably going to have two solutions. Okay. The reason in the formula you're going to see that in the formula, okay, we have the plus minus. So this plus minus is telling you that one of the solutions will have negative b plus the square root part divided by 2a, and the other one will get negative b minus the square root part divided by 2a. Yeah, so that will be the thing. Okay, so to continue, after we have a, b, and c, now it's time to plug in. And for that, to avoid mistake, please, it's very important to use the parentheses. That's why you're going to see that we have this b value in the parentheses. Yes, there is another thing you have to understand here. B is negative 1. B is negative 1. Okay? And the formula say negative b. So that's the reason we have a negative before the other negative 1. So we have two negative signs here, which is okay, clear to understand because we have a negative b, but b itself is negative 1. So we have a negative 1. Okay. Plus minus, yes, that is the formula have to be there. Square root of b squared, again, we use a parenthesis to avoid mistake. So b is negative 1. So we take a negative 1 and raise to the second power. Minus 4, okay, which is here, AC. So it's minus 4 times A. A value is 3. That's the number in front of the x squared. And the C value is negative 2. We say that. Again, as a quick, recall, we say that A is 3, B is negative 1, and the C is what? Negative 2. Okay. Now divide by 2A. So 2 multiplied by the A value. Again, we use a parenthesis so to avoid mistake. Okay, we continue. Now it's time to work it out. When you see negative, the two negative sign, like that, like we have it here, this is only going to be multiplication between negative and negative. And negative times negative is positive. The reason we have now 1 without the negative sign. So it's a positive 1. And for that, we don't need parentheses anymore because we work it out. Plus minus, yes. This plus minus always, follow the negative b value. Okay, the square root. Again, remember order of operation, which is PEMDAS. Okay, you will see this in one of our previous videos. Okay, so based on the PEMDAS, we need to do any kind of a parenthesis before exponential, before multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Okay, from left to right. So here we have a negative 1 raised to the second power. So that's going to be the exponent part. Excuse me. So we have a negative 1 to the second power means you're going to have a positive 1. Negative 1 to the second power is not a negative 1. It's positive 1. Why? Because you're going to have a negative 1 multiplied by another negative 1. And that gives you positive 1 because negative times negative is positive. Okay. We continue. The rest we have this negative 4 times t times negative 2. Yeah, all these three are represent what? Multiplication. So we can do it together. So negative 4 multiplied by positive 3, which is negative 12. And the negative 12 multiplied by negative 2 give you positive 24. That's why we have a positive 24 here. Divide by 2a. Divide by 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, we continue. After this exponential and the multiplication, now it's time for addition. So 1 plus 24 is 25. The reason we have this 25 here. So we have a 1 plus minus square root of 25 divided by 6. Okay, from there, I need to again explain something which is very important. For that, let's go here. So what we just saw there is what? We have a 1 plus minus square root of 25 divided by 6. So let's use this plus minus. This is telling you that you're going to have two solutions, okay? You have a 1 plus square root of 25. That is one solution. The other one will be 1 minus square root of 25 divided by 6. Okay, here, 6 here, sorry. Okay, so square root of 25. 25 is a perfect square. Yes, 25 is a perfect square. That means what? Is there is the number multiplied by itself give you 25, and that number is 5. So because 25 is a perfect square root of 25 will be a regular 5. So you have a 1 plus regular 5 divided by 6. Other side, you're going to have 1 minus regular 5 divided by 6. Okay, you see the way we send this. Now, if you go back, you understand better what I explained there. So, when they are saying 1 plus minus 5, regular 5, the regular 5 came from square root of 25, and the plus minus is again tell you that you're going to have two solutions, and the one will be 1 plus 5 divided by 6, as I got it previously. Okay, the other one will be 1 minus 5 divided by 6. Okay, it's not done yet. Now, what is 1 plus 5 divided by 6? This gives you 6 divided by 6, which is 1. And we do the other two. One, you have a negative 4. Why negative 4? Because 1 minus 5 is negative 4. It's like you have $1, but you owe your bank $5 because negative 5. So 1 minus 5 give you negative 4. So you cannot pay in full. You pay $1 and you left, with the $4 to pay back. So we have a negative 4 divided by positive 6, and you have to reduce it, which is to simplify. And how we reduce this? We divide negative 4 by 2, we divide 6 by 2, and we get negative 2 over 3. So you divide the numerator and the denominator, so the top and the bottom number, by the same value, so to leave it as a fraction. Because if you have this in the exam or the test, yeah, they will tell you that, okay, x equals 1, x equals negative 2 over 3, or x equals something, different. So the choice with 1 and negative 2 over 3 will be the best choice. Okay, so I think, this is helpful. Please feel free to leave a comment, for more detail or explanation. I will be, more than happy to do that. Thank you.